Hey, what's up, DTMB? Squid back here with another video. I know you guys have been enjoying the podcast, or the, I guess, the preliminary podcast. Triple and Gmar are going to be recording that this weekend, so we're looking forward to doing the real episode one, focusing probably on some competitive stuff since it's kind of the hot button issue on the forums right now, and we should hope to have that up sometime next week. Anyways, I've seen some people talk about it on YouTube and other different places that I don't think this community really understands competitive gaming to a whole and how you play that as a team. A lot of people are so used to the team deathmatch arena and not used to having different roles as an individual on your team. If you see my scrim thread, I made a comment to Guns and Sandwiches where I complimented him on his ability to play his position really well, which is OBJ. OBJ is an objective player. The player that always focuses on making sure the objective gets in where it's supposed to go, whether it's team objective or it's plunder. The thing is, he didn't have great games statistically. I think one game he was 0-14. But the fact of the matter is, he made sure that we won because of his skill and because of his ability to make sure we cap those treasures. That's what matters. So I'm going to break it down. There's a video here. You can see we're playing a facility. This is one of the scrim nights that we had here in the past couple weeks. I don't remember when it was a while ago, but we played plunder on facility. We played the 3 caps, see if we can make it a little bit better, make it a little bit faster game. We're just trying out different settings, different stuff, but I wanted to go over my gameplay in this because of how I play specifically. My style of play is I'm a slayer. I've always been like that. I'm very, in your face. I have to constantly be in interaction with things going on. I can't handle the, I guess, the individual situations or carrying the treasure. I'm just not good at that stuff. If you ever play games with me, and you see me in Team Objective or in Plunder, very rarely will you ever see me have, I guess, objective points or capping plunders unless I'm on top of it, there's nobody else around, and I take care of business. The thing is I work best when I focus on what I got to do for my team, which is making sure there's nobody around them. I will sacrifice myself countless amount of times in, I guess, in a lot of respect, in plunder or objective modes to make sure my teammates have the ability to get, the package where it needs to go. There's a misconception with slayers that you always have to be, you have to have this massive kill score. I mean, granted, you're going to have more kills than most people for the most part, but it's so much more about positioning and putting yourselves in the right area. If you don't pay attention to what you're doing and you don't focus on, where the hot spots are, where the spawns come from, where the next treasure is going to spawn in, you're not going to be doing yourself a favor, nor you will be doing your teammates a favor. You really have to focus on the ability to not put yourself in bad situations so you go down. Because if you lose a man, you're down a man for however long that is. Another reason why I use back in the saddle so much, because I got to get back in the game fast as possible, not wasting time. But if you put yourself out of position, you're hurting your teammates in the long run because you're going to put them in, 3-on-4, 3-on-5, 4-on-5 situations because you're not in the picture. You're going to die a lot more as a Slayer player. It's just going to happen because you're going to be in positions where it could possibly be 2-on-1. But your goal is to take out the guy closest to the treasure. Countless amount of times in this situation, there's 2 or 3 guys around me, but I focus on the guy that's going for the treasure. Because that's countless extra seconds I can use to slow down that person, slow down that team, to where my teammates come in and make sure they get the treasure. Now, I do pick up the treasure a couple times in this match, only to pass it forward for other players to grab hold of it and move it. It's just like, it's the same kind of thing. It has that same aspect of soccer or hockey, constantly moving the ball or constantly moving the puck around the court or the arena so that you can make sure that you get where you need to go. I mean, that's kind of the big thing. So, that's an important aspect. So everybody in a way plays OBJ at some point or another. But the Slayer, in my specific instance, I do everything I can to keep people off the treasure, keep them off my teammates, and if I got to sacrifice myself, there's plenty of times that I will just drop a nade. I know I'm going to die, but I'll drop a nade and I'll distract them long enough to where they have to focus on me to where, I'll get the kill or to put them out of reach or people have to back off. It slows them down, whatever I need to do. And that's kind of the important aspect. And, a Slayer is always more up close and personal. I rarely ever use the Gmail as a Slayer unless we're playing Airstrip or some long-range map. It's just not worth it. You got to make sure you get those kills. You got to make sure you got to put people down and slow them down enough to make a difference. That's what it comes down to, and the ability to capitalize upon that is quite a big deal. So we're playing a facility. We got a pretty good team going here. I think they get one random score on us here somewhere in the middle, but we end up winning 3-1 if I'm not mistaken. But it all comes down to the aspect of how this team plays together. Now, I don't want to focus too much on other aspects or other player types, but the majority of what you would assume is you're going to have a Slayer type, which could be 1 or 2 depending on how many people you play with. You're always going to have an OBJ and possibly 2 OBJs, and then you're going to have the support players. Support players will range from people that are more, I guess, active in the ability to put down other players, or the concept of controlling the map, or you're also going to have the opportunities or times where that's going to be a little muddled. It's going to be changed depending on the map and what's going on. Sometimes those support players will be power weapon players. You know, there will be power weapon whores where they focus on getting those power weapons and using that area to control the map, which is very vital and very, you know, strict on specific types of things. Not as much of an issue on this map because really you only got 2 major ones, and one of them slows you down, so it's really not worth it. So hammer comes across every now and then, but it's not one of those situations where it really presents itself to be a quality addition. It just takes too much time. You're wasting too much time waiting around for that. So really, this is a very mono-y-mono map, especially with the way the spawns are set up. It's a drab-looking map, but it does a very good job of presenting itself with an equal linear base, so both sides have an equal, I guess, standpoint, except for the stairwells. That's the only problem I have with it, but for the most part, we're not going to get into the map design right now. But like I said before, the Slayer type, I've played Slayer for years. In all the games I've ever played in, I have a one-track mind where I'm like, kill, 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 get people off my teammates, do whatever I can, sacrifice myself, drop some nades, blow myself up in an RPG if I have to, if it slows people down. Another thing you got to do as a Slayer is you cannot focus on one player. You can't do the revenge where, like, oh, you're gonna chase him around the map and get greedy. You got to focus on what's ever in front of you at that time. If that guy bails, you're done with him. You focus on the next guy in front of you. You don't waste time. You don't fart around with that. You got to make sure to do everything you can in a short amount of time and capitalize upon that. Because if you don't and you waste too much time, you're going to be hurting your teammates. Another aspect of the Slayer is you got to understand the map more than anybody else does. You got to know when they're going to come in, where they're coming from, and you got to know call-outs like the back of your hand. Because when somebody's telling you where something's going on, they're going to expect you to get the job done. They're going to expect you to get in the way of those people and take out the bad guys. If you wait too much time, you fart around with it, you goof off, you get cocky, you get greedy, that's really going to be detrimental to your team. But that's the big thing here, is teamwork. No other modes require as much teamwork as OBJ and Plunder. I mean, you could say that about Team Deathmatch, but really it could be taken over by 2 types of players, which is just a bunch of Slayers. This opportunity, you have to have those people. Because if you don't cover your OBJ player, because the Slayer's role is still the same thing as support. I mean, you're technically just a more defined support player. So if you don't take care of those roles, you're going to be making mistakes, and it's going to end up hurting you, make sure you lose. Especially with all these tournaments that are coming around, all these opportunities for people to start playing these type of modes, you got to understand it, you got to get with it, and you got to understand it fast. The quicker you can do that, the better. So this is just a basic idea of how the Slayer plays. I'll show you some more of my videos. If you watch them, especially the podcast, I totally slay in that game mode. I focus on that, and that's really what I go with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got some more coming out throughout the day. Hopefully I can get them all up today, which is Wednesday. And I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Peace.